Hi everyone, I'm GS from Snipcart. In this video, I want to talk about static website development and explore with you the popular and awesome static site generator that is Jekyll. The whole team here firmly believe that you can get a lot of benefit from working with static website. So we want to share our knowledge on the subject with you guys. I'll also present an in-depth demo with Jekyll, so stay tuned. Before we start, I just want to mention that if you want to read more stuff on static web development, there's a lot about this on Snipcart's blog. You'll find the link in the description below. So, what are static websites? The basics of static website are kind of like the old days of doing web development. You have simple HTML files that you can edit however you want and deploy anywhere. But nowadays, we have modern tools to help us, which are static website generator. The main advantage of working with static website is that it removes almost all the stuff from a classic stack deployment. No libraries, no framework, and no slow database. That means no backend except for the web server itself, which gives us websites that are faster, even more so if you deploy a CDN, and more secure because of the smaller attack surface. So where do they fit in the developer universe? Well, a great use of static website is with the JAMstack, and at Snipcart, we're a big fan of that method of doing web development. Essentially, the JAMstack is a combination of JavaScript, API, and markup. The concept gained a lot of popularity with the rise of single-page application. It fully separates front-end technologies from the back-end, which means you can use anything you want for the UI, giving you, in my opinion, a greater ability to ship great user experience. As for API, designing your back-end as a simple data source allows you to reuse it outside of your website. For example, if you ever want to make a mobile app later, it will be easier. You can also go without any backend and use external API to add specific functionality, like e-commerce in the case of Snipcart. And the last one in Jam is the markup. It can be simple HTML or any templating language of your choice. Other static websites fit on all of that. They use precompiled HTML files, and you can add JavaScript for the dynamic content. The most popular static site generator is probably Jekyll. It has native and free support and GitHub pages, and a lot of other tools are spawned around it, like Cloud Cannon or Siteleaf. It's written in Ruby, it uses Liquid as a templating language, and also there's a lot of plugins available as Ruby gems. It's content focused, stripping the website development process from unnecessary hassle. Jekyll also uses simple markdown file for every web page, and you can define custom content collection like we do in the demo. It's perfect for creating simple business and personal websites or blogs, so let's get started with it. We'll first install Jekyll with the gem command. If you are on Windows, you will have to make sure you have install Ruby first, and on macOS or Linux, make sure you have a recent version of Ruby. Should be pretty fast. This installation gives us the Jekyll command. There's nothing we can do with it, but first we'll create a new project. So let's see what we have in the demo project. Very few files, a gem file, which defines the dependency we have for the project. Those are gem dependencies for Ruby, and a few files, a post folder when our content will live, and a few markdown files. So let's see what those files are in our text editor. We have the gem file with all the dependencies on first Jekyll itself, and minima, it's a default theme that came with every Jekyll project. You can use another one, but this one is nice because every file of the theme is inside the gem, so you don't have to commit every file on your repository. Then we'll have a few files at the root for error page, a few markdown files. Those are two pages, the index of the site, and an about page. Those are simply markdown files with the classic markdown syntax we all know. Another important file is the config.yaml. It has all the basic configuration of our website, some content string, Twitter username if you want to put those things, some basic information about the base theme, the plugin used by Jekyll, and the markdown processor. That's in that file that will add later some information about the new stuff you want to add to our website. Then we have the post collection. It's a folder starting with an underscore. Inside it we have all the blog posts, and one has been generated for us. So inside it, we have the markdown content for blog posts. At the beginning of the file, we have what we call the YAML front matter. Jekyll uses that to provide information for the blog post and every content on the site. We have the layout of the page, the title, the date, and a few categories. Let's see what has been generated by Jekyll on a live website. If we go in our demo, you can use Jekyll again to run the website with the serve command. Jekyll has now generated a few files. We can see the result of the website at localhost and using the portal. Just refresh that. It's a bit slow the first time. We have a basic website with all the information we saw in the config.yaml file, like the title of the site. And we have the first post. If we go inside it, we have the content of the post. But all that can be customized by customizing every template. Now let's add a blog post to our website. We see that Jekyll server has generated two more folders, a cache for the SAS CSS preprocessor and a site folder. That's where every static page are generated. Let's add a new file to our post folder. We'll add the default front matter, the title, and some categories. We save that file using the date as the name of the file and some kind of slug to identify the file and the URL. If you go refresh our website, our new blog post has been generated and Jekyll has updated a new file. And we have the content of our new blog post. Although Jekyll offers a collection of blog posts by default, we can add our own type of content. Let's add a product collection to sell stuff on our website. To do that, we'll add a section in config.yaml. So we define a new collection that we call products, and we'll add a folder corresponding to it. And of course, that product will be in Markdown format with the YAML front matter. We don't need the layout for this one. Now we need to display those products. We'll put them at the bottom of every blog post. To do that, we'll have to override some template of the theme. Because our theme is packaged as a Ruby gem, we have to find first where the default files are located. To do that, we'll use the bundle command to show the package location. I will open this folder in our text editor, so it'll be easier to edit some files and copy them in your project. So what we want to do is to override the post template. We'll copy it and create a new file at the same path in our own project. If we make a quick edit, we'll see that our template is overwritten. To display the product we created earlier, we'll add some liquid markup to our post layout. So let's add a div. Inside it, we'll add some loop that will iterate over every product. For now, we just have one. What this do is that we go fetch every products contained in our site. We get a simple for loop. We'll also include another file to clean our code and not add too much markup inside the same file. While the layout of our content are located in the layout folder, now we want to add a includes folder. And that's where we'll put our product.html file. For now, we simply show the name of our product. To display a variable in Liquid, we use double curly bracket. Because we define the name of the product in the YAML front matter, its value is available in the product object. Let's see what it does. Nothing. It's because when we define our products collection and the config.yaml, I didn't refresh the Jekyll serve command. So it didn't account for the new content in the configuration. Every time you add something in the config.yaml or in the gem file, like a dependency and new Jekyll plugin, you have to refresh the Jekyll serve command. So let's do that. I kill it and start again. And that's it. Should have originated your content. And now we have some product that show. I'll go ahead and update that a little bit because now it's not really pretty, and I'll get back to you. It's now a little bit better. What I did is first to change the template from the product. I used the figure and fill caption HTML tags, and I've added an image on the product. The path of the image is defined on the YAML front matter. So for every product you have, you can add them in the assets folder. Then I've added some style. So to override the default style from the minima theme, you have to define a main.scss file in the assets folder and import minima. That way, you'll have access to everything defined in the minima theme, and you can simply override what you want in the CSS. Now, to add the possibility to buy the product, we'll add a Snipcart to a website. It's a good example of using a third-party API to add features while keeping all the flexibility of having a static website. First, we'll have to add some tags to the head of our website, so we'll override the head template. To know what to add to our website, we'll go to Snipcart dashboard to get our API key. So we have jQuery, that's a current dependency for the cart. We have the Snipcart.js and the base style for the cart. We'll copy that and add it to our add-on on the website. Next, we'll add some Snipcart tag to the product template. First, we need to add the Snipcart add item class. That's how the cart will know that it's a product that can be bought. We also add the required data attribute for the cart. We need an ID for the product, its price, the name, and an URL, so Snipcart can validate the product definition. We'll reuse the name of the product. For the URL, we'll use the current one. We can get it from page.url. The other data, we'll take them from the YAML formatter on the product. So product.id, we'll define that in the product definition later, and product.price. We can also add the image there. So let's add the data on the product. We need the ID. So let's use that. And some price. Let's see the result. Refresh the page and click on the product. We have our first product in the cart with its image, and we can do the usual checkout process. A few things you could do for this demo is maybe add a few more products in the products folder, or add a full-blown product page. You could also add other third-party tools like Discuss. It's a commenting system that you can easily integrate on your website. For many Jekyll themes, it comes integrated by default, and all you have to do is add your credential in the config.yaml. There's also Algolia. It's a full text search service, easy to integrate. They have a Jekyll plugin, so it's really easy. By using services like those, you can rapidly add functionality to your website that could take a lot of time to develop normally, and you still get all the flexibility of your static website and all the control over how you build it or you design it. Those tools are simply added functionality and they don't get in the way of anything for your development. If you want to learn more about lightweight templating or more features of Jekyll, we'll make sure to put all the links in the description below. I would really like to know if you already have used Jekyll with other third-party tools, and if you have any recommendation you'd like to add, hit the comment section below. I also invite you to subscribe to the channel for more upcoming technical videos. I remind you also to take a look at the blog on Snipcart.com for a lot more stuff on static web and the JAMstack. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.